Okay, so I was asked just to do a little video on how to factorise non-monic quadratic expressions using a different technique to the cross multiply. So just to remind you, with a monic quadratic, like x squared plus 5x plus 6, we call it a monic. Get the pen right. We call it a monic because there's a 1x squared. And so the technique is, what two numbers multiply to give 6, they add to give 5. So 2 3s is 6, 2 plus 3 is 5. So the factors are plus 2 and plus 3 inside the brackets. Okay, and then if you got that, then you can solve the equation x equals minus 2, x equals minus 3. Okay, so in this new technique with the non-monic, so non-monic just means there's a number in front, and the number in front can't factorise out. Sometimes the 2 could go into both numbers, so you actually end up with a monic, but this one doesn't work because 3 times 1 is 3, but 3 plus 1 doesn't equal 7. So in this new technique, which I've seen before, what you do is you take the first and last term, and then you multiply those two numbers together to get a new number. Then this new number is what two numbers multiply to give 6. That now we look back at the middle term, which is 7. So what two numbers multiply to give 6 that add to give 7, and the answers are 6 and 1. 6 ones are 6, and 6 plus 1 is 7. Now those numbers. We then go back and say, well, we multiplied by 2, so then we divide by 2. So whatever the number was that we multiplied by, then we divide back. So 6 over 2 and 1 over 2, and 6 over 2 equals 3, and 1 over 2 equals 1 over 2. And you put those numbers back into the brackets. So you get x plus 3, x plus a half. Now, if you multiply x by x, you get x squared. But the question had a 2x squared, so we've got to go back to 2x squared again. So what we do is any bracket that has a fraction, we just multiply through to get rid of the fraction. So if we double a half, we get a 1, so that means we just have to double that bracket. So this bracket here has whole numbers, so it doesn't change. And this bracket here we just double, and double x is 2x, and double a half is 1. And that's your factors, that's your answers. So if it was an equation, if that was an equation, then you still take the opposite numbers. So in fact, if it was an equation back here, if it was an equation, then those two are the opposite numbers to the actual answers. But if it was just factorising, then that's all you do. And I think that's as simple as it is. Okay, so it's a different technique. Obviously, previously, and I'll just show you what you would have to do. So if it was 2x squared plus 7x plus 3, what you do previously is 2x times x, and 3 is 3 times 1, so that's 2x, that's 3x, adds to 5x, and that's the wrong answer. So then we just switch 1 and the 3 across, so we get 6x, 1x, 7x, which is the right answer, and so then that would be the answers, which is what we got on the previous page. So the cross multiply method still works. It's a trial and error method, but this little method's a nice beauty. Okay, hope you enjoyed.